Greetings everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Three Keys to Harmonize Your Home's Energy with Feng Shui, a personalized approach to activate a positive flow of qi for health, happiness, and spiritual blessings. My name is Stephen Dinan, and I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and I'm really excited because I don't know a lot about Feng Shui myself. I know the basic contours of it, but I know I'm going to be picking up a lot of really valuable information today right alongside with you. We're going to get to explore this exciting area of Feng Shui and how it applies to our modern lives with Marie Diamond. She's a globally renowned Feng Shui and dowsing master. She starred in The Secret. She's taught programs all over the world. She's got celebrity endorsements, and she's even got a TV show coming out in the near future. So she has really been at the forefront of translating this ancient science into a modern context. And so we're excited to dive in with her. So thanks for joining us, Marie.
I'm so excited, Stephen, to be here with all of you and to explore how Feng Shui can really change your life.
Great. Well, I want to say right up front, we're going to have this time. We're going to give you a lot of good, valuable insights. And we're also going to have a brand new program with Marie called Design Your Enlightened and Abundant Home with Feng Shui. So we'll share more about that towards the end of the hour if you want to go further. So Marie, I'd love to begin our journey here today with a little bit about your journey. Obviously, you're probably not from China, yet you've really committed your life to this work. And it'd be great to understand a little bit the trajectory that made you really commit to this as a path of transformation for self and others.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm originally from a beautiful country called Belgium. And so that's definitely not in Asia. It's in Europe, of course. And for me, it's really started when I was 15 years old. And I just had a near-death experience being run over by a truck. I was declared dead and I came back. And then I actually connected with my spiritual teacher that I already was connecting with since I was 7 years old. And I asked him, what did I do wrong? Because I was already very focused on manifesting my life. I knew about the law of attraction already. For a couple of years, I had vision boards. I mean, I was very into manifestation. And here I manifested to be run over by a truck and almost, died. And so he said to me, well, you did not do anything wrong. You just had bad feng shui. And so I had no idea what that meant. I mean, I'm coming from a Catholic family. So this was like something very far from my, my experience. And so he shared that where I was sleeping, the bedroom I had was really not good energy. And I could totally relate with him because I really was afraid in that bedroom. I had a lot of nightmares. I was bullied at school very severely. I was alone, had no friends. I was a good student. That was kind of it. And so he suggested that I would move to another bedroom and redesign my bedroom for my abundance, for happiness. And he suggested some colors that would really work for me. And it was like orange and white. Now, it's not for everybody, but for me, it was really good. And then I started really designing literally the images of what I wanted in my life. I want to have friends. I want to have romance. And literally after I changed all that and changed my position for my desk, according to what he suggested to me, I totally shifted my life. It was like within a few weeks, the bullies totally became even friendly, and some of them became my friends. It was just this huge shift that happened. And I also had my first boyfriend, was also an extra bonus. But it was just such a shift that I was like, my God, this is so powerful. And he told me that later on, he would bring me back to this when I would keep focusing on meditation and spirituality and focusing on enlightenment. And then after I started teaching about enlightenment and meditation in Belgium, after first being a lawyer for a couple of years, I really felt that a lot of the people in my classes were like hitting ceilings with their meditation because they were like me at that time when I was 15, their environment was not the right way. So I started sharing with them that information. I started studying with a grandmaster in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I really felt that was like a missing piece for people to really go to the next level of their enlightenment, of their spiritual journey, because literally the place where you are is affecting you so intensely. And so I kept doing that, and I really saw that this was such a valuable missing link for people in the West, that I really decided that I wanted to really share that always with my students. And then, of course, I did all my feng shui very well, because I attracted to be in the global phenomena, The Secret, as only European teacher. And literally, that is where I really decided this is what my major focus should be. Because at that time, I already had a lot of celebrity clients. I worked with the people in The Secret, producer, publisher, teachers, to make The Secret the global phenomena that it became. And I could see that that was in the spiritual and the self-help world. That was the missing link for a lot of people, that they were so focused on their spirit, on their mind, on their heart, also on the healing of their body, but that they were not seeing this ancient energy system that you can see the Chinese brought forward, acupuncture, qigong, tai chi, but actually there's another level, and that is feng shui. That means it's the energy system of your home. And just by very simple things that we can change and direct ourselves, we can literally bring that light that we all are so much more in the world, and impact more people. And so that became my main focus. And now I have reached millions of people worldwide talking about this. And now I'm super excited to be here on the Shift Network to share this information with you.
Well, we're super excited. Quite a background you have, and I think it's really interesting to dive into this, the notion of our home as an extension of our energy system, or that we're sort of part of a matrix of energies. And so if we're just focused on our separate self, like, we're actually missing a whole bunch of the equation of how it can support us. So maybe share a little bit about why that is, why our home is so influential on ourselves and our capacity to manifest or create what we want in our lives.
Well, one of the first things my grandmaster shared with me is that there are three kinds of connection with the field, with the quantum field. The first one is a spiritual connection. Sometimes we call that a spiritual lock, but of course it's connecting through meditation, through your spirit, through your soul, to align with the field. And by clearing blockages, clearing karma, you will actually have a stronger and a more aligned connection with the quantum field, with the universe, with God. And so he said, well, that is a part that you can, of course, change through meditation to clearing, but that's where your destiny is sometimes, is where you have certain talents, you're born in a certain family, you have some challenges you come from, like you're born already with. He said, you can change some of that, but it's not so easy. The second part, how to connect in with the field and to align yourself and to manifest, is actually through what we call the human part. And the human part is our mindset, of course. It's our behavior. It's also our actions that we take. So being a human being, literally, right? And to be the best human being possible, that's actually the human potential, right? That we are trying to really excel and thrive with. And that is the second part. But he said the last part is the earth connection. It's your environment. And because we're not just here, we're in our body, we are here in a space. And so we're always looking to find the connection with other people, but between you and me, there is space. And so how that space energy is aligned with your soul, with your spirit, with your mindset, with your actions, that is actually the easiest to change, because literally changing your desk around or putting something behind you that's different or hanging something or colors, that's quite an easy thing. But it does affect right away your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, your behavior, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. So it is like it is like the connection of the earth that is just supporting you to reach that light. And so it's like in the old times, people would go to temples, yeah, to reach enlightenment or to be with a master. But now millions of people worldwide are ready for that enlightenment state. And they don't have the chance to go to a temple to be with a being that is in beautiful harmony and compassion. So what if our home can be that temple? That home can be that enlightened space, so that we can reach that full potential of our light. So for me, when I start seeing by adjusting things in the environment, I saw my students having breakthroughs that were much faster, much easier, much more effortless. And it's because the chi, the energy, is not just in us, it's also around us. And so if we change that, then it is like, I call it always like a three-dimensional vision board. It's like everything around you is affecting you subconsciously 24 hours a day. Where you sleep, where you work, where you live, it's constantly influencing us, but we are just not paying attention to it. But what if we do pay attention to it and redirect the energy? Then what we are and who we want to become is so much easier to manifest.
Well, it really makes a lot of sense as a philosophy, and it's kind of surprising. I haven't spent time on this myself, and I think I probably speak for a lot of people that it hasn't been as part of much of the worldview. So let's talk a little bit about how to start to approach our environment, thinking about different areas of our life, sort of this extended 3D vision board for what we're wanting to create.
Well, everybody has some goals in life, right? Goals about happiness, abundance, health. So the first thing I always suggest, and it's something I would love to lead some of you in a small visualization, is to become aware of what is in your home. So I always say to people, just imagine that you look with the eyes of the universe. You look with the eyes of God through your environment, and you look around and say, what does it look like? What does it feel like? So perhaps you feel stuck in your home, but when you look at everything, there's perhaps a lot of clutter, perhaps the images or things that you did hang up, I don't know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, nothing has really changed. So if you start changing around you, things will start changing within you, right? So we always want to first focus on within us, but what if around us we change something and then the inner self adapt to it? So I just want you first to be aware of things. Like, look at the places in your home where you feel the most comfortable, you feel the most happy, or look at places where you always have conflict, where you get frustrated, or where you feel like, oh, I avoid being there. So there is something off there because your body feels it. Yeah. We try to avoid the areas where things are just not nice. There's not good energy, right? So stuck energy is what we call sha-qi, and heavenly energy or mountain qi, fresh energy, we call it sheng qi. And so there are places where we feel like, oh, so nice here, right? And not just in your home, it's also sometimes where you go to your space and where you work, or you go even to your favorite restaurant. You're like, why are you attracted to that restaurant? Perhaps it doesn't look the best, or it's not the best food, but there's something there, right? Why is that? Because it's the energy level that is there. And then there are places that look amazing and you don't like to be there, right? Why is that? Because there's a lack of chi, there's a lack of energy. So just becoming aware first in your own space and the places that you visit, like what is there, and start looking, what are the colors? What are the images? What is the vibration there?
So let's start to put this into applications. So what are the first things you'd want to do in each sector of your life to start to realign things?
Well, the first thing I always suggest is to first let go of things that are chaotic. Yeah. So literally decluttering is the first step. You need to create space. Yeah. So even if you let go of 10% of what you have, right? And we're going to definitely go into a module in the upcoming course just about how to do this, because it's not just to keep things that you feel joy about. Yeah. It's really things that to look at it like, where is the most chaos? Is it on your nightstand? Is it in your bedroom? Is it on your desk? Like all this is, you have to imagine subconsciously giving you messages like of clutter, of chaos. So how can your mind be calm and peaceful? if everything around you is chaotic. So that's the first thing I always would suggest people start there, right? It's very simple. The second thing I would love for you to look at, what are the images around you? Like literally open your door, walk in, again with these eyes of the universe, not your eyes, but just become aware, like what is there? Or you open the door and there's shoes on the ground, there are coats hanging. It's kind of, I don't know, boxes of Amazon delivered at your entrance. So when you come in, and we always say the entrance is the mouth of energy. So when you open the door, do you feel immediately there's a calmness, there's a happiness, the colors, there are beautiful flowers, there's a candle, there are images of your family? Or if it's the opposite, it's like dried flowers, there's chaos there. So you actually say to the universe then and to the field, you're not welcome. The abundance is not welcome in your life. So the entrance is always very important. And you will see that with people with wealth and power, the entrance will be always very beautiful, right? Because it tells like, I am really a king, a queen, a master of my field. Yeah, that's kind of what they're focusing on. And then just keep going through your home and see what are the images that are there. I'll give you an example. I remember going to an accountant and he had a lot of lawsuits against him. And everywhere in his office were images of big tigers. He loved tigers. Now, I have to be honest, tiger images in an accountancy firm, that's not really aligned. Yeah. So I said, why don't you take them out? Because literally you're saying, I'm going to be jumped on. Like these tigers were like, if these tigers would be alive there, how would you feel? So always think, if that image, if that statue would be a living being, how would I feel about that? If it's really there. Yeah. So if like you want to be in a romantic experience and you have only images of single women around you, you're saying consciously and subconsciously to yourself, I'm okay by being single. So just changing that. That's, for example, one of the scenes in The Secret where I asked somebody to change the paintings so that, his home is a three-dimensional vision board. So everything around you, the images, what does it tell you? What do you hold on to? So just doing these small steps, becoming aware, will already make a big shift.
Those are great insights, and really it gets a whole different frame. I know a lot of things also have to do with like specific corners, and I mean, maybe that's a more sophistication. We've got to maybe give a little taste of how different corners of the house correspond to different sectors of our life, and just curious more to share.
Yeah, of course. So based in traditional classic feng shui, we always work with the what we call the energy number. So everybody, based on their birthday and their birth gender, there is a calculation that we do. And that's, of course, something that in an upcoming course we connect with, is that everyone has 4 compass directions, because feng shui means wind and water. So it's all to do with the wind flow and the water energy. And so the wind flow is like the compass directions of your home. Certain compass directions will benefit you. There will be a lot of good chi there, and other areas will be not so good. So for example, my success direction is southwest. So you have a success direction, a health, a relationship, and a wisdom direction. So these are the 4 pillars of what I call an enlightened home. So by activating my success direction, by placing their logos, I mean, I have to be honest, the Shift Network, the logo was already a few years there, placed on my vision board. So, so it manifested. I just put there my vision board, I put there my books, I put there my courses, so I put there my awards. So I just tell, it's like to the universe, this is the portal of success and abundance. And so one of the things I'm going to teach, of course, is what is that success direction? What can you place there? How can you activate it? Because once you do that, you shift the energy and you always have an anchoring place in your space about your success and abundance. So there also is a health direction, there's relationship direction, where relationship direction will focus more about, depending where, like if it's in your bedroom, it will be focused on your romantic level. In your office, it will be focused on your professional connections. If it's in the living room, it's your family. So there are certain directions that we're placing things, but also we make sure that you sit as most as you can as you're awake, facing one of your 4 good directions. And when you're sleeping, you try to sleep towards that good direction. Now, it's not always 100% possible, depending on the design, but we always try to improve it, because I always said, even if you change 1%, your life would change 1%. But we have seen that you can change with Feng Shui you can change with Feng Shui up to about 33% of your life. So 1/3 is affected by your environment. And that's the missing link that most people, they're doing wonderful spiritual work, wonderful healing work, and they are getting the right mindset, they're doing the right actions, and still they're hitting a ceiling, because the ceiling is the environment. So we're going to focus on these personal directions to make sure that they are activating their home for them personally.
Fascinating. I wonder if you could also dive into some of the common mistakes people make that we can correct fairly easily.
So one of the first common mistakes is, and I have to be honest, it's actually also on your screen. You have a beautiful plant with lush flowers, lush leaves. Yeah, you have a plant with lush leaves, and you have a plant with very spiky leaves, right, on your screen. So one of the things is we always want in Feng Shui everything round and oval, and
spiky leaves got to go.
Spiky leaves attracts judgments, criticism to you. So there's like needles, yeah. So cacti and any plants with sharp needles or sharp edged leaves, we always put that away from where we live and where we worked, because it does affect our nervous system. It affects the energy. So it creates sharper energy, and people react sharper and more in conflict. So that's the first thing, especially in the bedroom. Take that out in the living space, in your workspace. So you can do it more in places where you feel like I'm not there a long time. Yeah, so that's the first thing. The second thing, very powerful, is the way you position yourself in the space that you are working. So if it is at home, if it is in a work office space, always make sure you're seeing the door of the place you're coming in. Never sit with your back to the door. When you're sitting with your back to the door, you're actually saying to the universe, I am not aligning with you. I'm not connecting with you. It's like you're sitting with your back to people. I always say, think about the king or the queens. Think about the president of the United States. He or she will see, who is coming in to their space. And that means you're more in power, you're more aligned, you have a visual of what is happening in your life. And so just that very simple thing is, people, when they have a desk facing the wall or facing the window and they don't see the door, just turn that around. By turning that around, suddenly new opportunities will start coming to them, new possibilities. It is amazing to see that one shift, how many people have seen changing their lives. Yeah. So that's the second thing. Of course, the common mistake is that people sometimes use too much of one color, like everything is white, everything is beige and brown. Like, you need to spice up some of your environment. And we're going to talk about also in the course about 24 colors that really shift your energy. And so certain colors will really affect you personally. And so that's why you need to become careful about colors. And if you keep things too monotone, then your life will be monotone. So you need to spice up a little bit with colors your life, so your life becomes more passionate and more vibrant.
It makes a lot of sense, but I hadn't really thought of it that way, that you're literally adding the vibrancy that it's going to reflect into your life.
Yeah, it is, because people are just, the new trends, right? The interior design trends, they're just quite monotone. And I come in and say to people, there's just no joy here. There's just no passion here. What's going on with you? I said, no, your life is okay. Yeah, but life is not about being okay. Life is about being enlightened and vibrant and happy. So if you bring colors that specifically affect that happiness into your space, if it's your bedroom, if it's office, if it's your living room, then suddenly people feel much more in harmony. And there are colors that I would definitely avoid, and there are colors that we can just bring in based on your energy number, but also based on the space where you are staying.
Truly fascinating. Well, I can just keep asking questions, but I know you also want to take us into a little bit of an experiential so that we can start to anchor a relationship with our own home in a deeper level.
I would love that. So if I can invite you to close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath in and out. And just imagine now that you are standing outside your home or your apartment. And you take a deep breath in, connecting in with nature that is present there. And then just connecting with your light, with your inner light, your inner God experience, your divine self. And imagine now, visualize now, you open the door and you bring that light into your space at your entrance and see how your light reacts to what is present there. Do you feel your light is immediately enhanced and thriving? Or do you feel your light is dimming? Because there's some stale energy there, or there's just the wrong images. So just look around and you can literally feel how your light is reacting. And make some mental notes. Like what do you experience? What do you see? What do you feel? And then just keep going and go to the living space. Could be your living room, your family room, where you spend time to be with your family, or you invite friends there, you hang out there to relax. And just come in there and see if your light expands. You feel your light is dimming there. You feel your light is dimming, and look around like, what is it that's dimming you? Are there statues, colors, the way things are positioned? Perhaps clutter? And just make some mental notes like, oh, I never thought about how this is affecting me. How that painting is just not aligned with me anymore. And then keep going, go to your bedroom where you spend your nights the most, and just come in and lay down in your bed, just looking around, and just feel if your light is expanding or if your light is dimming. And if it's dimming, just try to see what you feel, what you experience, why that light is dimming. Just tune into it. And just make some mental notes. Perhaps it's the clutter on your nightstand. Perhaps you can see the bathroom door that is always open, and that energy is coming in. Perhaps just the colors are very bland, not very happy. And then just go to this place where you work the most. Could be in your home, could be that you work at home in the dining room table, or you have a workspace, or even if you want to go to the place where you're working outside your home. Just walk in there and sit on your desk or stand where you are working and see if your light is expanding or you feel it's dimming. It's getting less. And then again, pay attention. Perhaps you're sitting with your back to the door and you're facing a wall. Perhaps there's this big cactus next to you. Perhaps there's just clutter all around you, all files. And then come back to the center of your space, the center of your apartment, center of your home. And the light that you are, just let that now radiate, light fully. Like send that light that you are now to all these places. And as you're sending that light out, you're already clearing the stale, the old vibration. And you're telling already to your home, I'm going to take care of you. You're an extension of my light. I commit to change you so that my light can expand because of you, through you, by being in your field. And then take a few deep breaths in and out. Bring your hands together, hold your hands, bring your warm hands in front of your eyes, and gently open your eyes. And then write down some of the notes that you have been having in your mind. So how was that for you, Stephen?
It was great. Well, I mean, I love our home, and I also realize that there's some things around, particularly around color. It's a little bit kind of too muted, probably, and feels like some more vibrancy in different areas would be really great. And I realize the same thing on the office space is I tend towards almost too zen, and some kind of warmth would be good in particular areas to sort of bring more joyfulness too. So it's like the Zen kind of creates the calm and the equanimity, but then which I like. But then I think that yeah, and then it's interesting about the spiky plant back there, and I hadn't thought about that. We don't have spiky plants at home, but it's just right interesting right here in terms of filling
Well,
for the
just
public.
if you want to bring in joy, I just already want to give you that answer. Then work with the colors peach or orange. Yeah.
Sure, orange.
Yeah, these are colors that just give some more vibrance, more happiness. Yeah, it's like sun colors, right? Even yellows, yellows, oranges, brighten things up. So even a candle in orange, or some items such as, or pillows in orange. So just, it always, when I do that, people feel so much better.
That's interesting. Yeah, we did add a few orange pillows a year or two ago, and definitely brightened some things up. But more in that direction, it sounds like. And I also noticed that David, my wife, does have her desk. She's facing her back to the door in her office. So
Okay.
I think that's a quick fix or an
That's
easy.
a quick fix. Yeah. Okay, well, you see, just by connecting and allowing your light to shine in your home, right? You become aware of certain things, and you're like, oh, I could change that. Yeah. So because it is an extension of your light. Yeah. So your home can become that light space. And when the space of light is there, then the light within you can thrive, can grow, can expand, so that you have really the best life possible.
Hmm. I want to circle back. You had said something about in the bedroom, like is the door open to the bathroom, and that's sort of bringing that light in, or that energy in. And we often leave the door open to the bathroom. We have a lovely bathroom, but it's sort of like maybe you share a little bit more about the philosophy of the flow, and sort of are you intentionally closing off certain places because it's sort of like, oh,
Right.
well, the bathroom happens, and we don't want to sort of bring that psychology into the rest of
No, you don't. And so also when, especially that bathroom door would be in one of your good directions, then you actually, it's the energy of the toilet, the sink, the shower. It's never super fresh, right? So, sometimes smells, but just the energy of it, you don't want to see that. So we always need to make sure a bathroom and a bedroom are separate, or at least there's a curtain or something that closes it off, because it will influence your romantic life, but also your health.
Hmm. It's really fascinating. Well, I want to circle back. You gave us a little bit of a preview of the kind of personalization that you can do with this, where it's sort of you have your specific number, your energy number, and then how you orient your life. Maybe share a little bit more about that process of how you sort of build up from your energy number and then start to personalize your environment around that.
So yes, the first thing we're going to also learn in the course is to find out what is your energy number, what does that mean? There's an archetype, yeah. For example, there are 9 numbers, and each number is an archetype. So, for example, I'm the connector. Somebody else can be the wealth creator, an advisor, a teacher. And so, once they know what that archetype is, then they can see what are the 4 best directions that are connecting with that. And then one of the things, and that's one of the bonus materials, we're going deeper into, the psychology also from what that really means. It's people start recognizing themselves like, oh yes, this is typically me. I'm a connector. I love connecting people. I love connecting the dots, right? So this is kind of I don't know how many people I brought together to get married. I mean, I'm a connector. I love that energy. So, but other people are something else. And then we're looking at these 4 best directions. And then we go deeper into each direction per energy number, what they have to place there, what are the colors that work there, what is the vibration that they have to bring there. Because each time they activate that, and it's not something you have to change all the time, but it's just like you're anchoring in your space success and abundance, great relationships, well-being, and wisdom. And wisdom is all about your education, your connection with God, whatever that is. Feng Shui has nothing to do with religion, or spirituality, but we are making sure your spirituality or religious path is respected and honored and even positively influenced. So everything is all about making sure your home is bringing these 4 directions in alignment with you, so that you're not just focusing on spiritual energy, but you're also connecting with your body, that you're also making sure there is abundance for you and money flow coming towards you, and also that your relationships are thriving. So we believe in a full spectrum of happiness, not just one part. Now, some of you will experience that, success and money is going well. And sometimes I see that with my high-end clients, on that level, they placed everything perfectly. But then relationships are, not in a good place, or perhaps their health, or perhaps their spiritual journey. So we always want to make sure that 4 aspects are really in balance. And we activate that both in the bedroom, in the living space, and in the workspace, because the 24-hour is divided in 8 hours. 8 hours working, 8 hours sleeping, and 8 hours living. And of course, we look at if your front door is in a good place. We look at if your positioning of where you're working is in a good facing direction. If your bed is in the right direction. And then also looking if you and your partner have different numbers. Yeah, because that's possible. Like I'm a 5, my husband is a 7, how that works together, how that can still have a perfect harmony, even if you have different numbers. And interesting enough, we see that with Feng Shui, things shift very quickly. Yeah, people have, after 9 days, already a positive reaction. So it's not something you have to keep practicing, right? So once you have things in place, then, the universe starts aligning with it, and you're aligning with it. And then within 9 days, people start seeing little shifts, like, a new opportunity comes in, or a new friendship, or like something starts shifting in a positive sense. So that's what they experience. And it works very fast. So because you already have done probably a lot of healing, a lot of unblocking some of your limitations, and now the only thing that still had to be aligned and being ready to receive from the universe, because a lot of people feel they can't receive enough, or they feel like, they ask, but it just is not coming into their life, is because the space around them is not giving that opportunity, because the space where the gifts of the universe need to come in is telling to the universe, I'm telling a different story. I don't really want that. I want romance. I'm focusing on it, but everything around me is telling me I don't have romance. I want money. I want abundance, but everything around me says, no, rather not. So because of aligning all that, both heavenly, human, and earth energy, that is when the flow starts happening. And that is what is so exciting about Feng Shui.
It's very exciting. I wonder if you could share a little bit. I know that sometimes you place different like water elements and other things like that. There's a little bit about an insight into sort of different elements that you work with in different areas.
So in Feng Shui, we work with 5 elements. Yeah, the first element is water, right? As you just mentioned. So we will definitely work with placing, for example, a fountain at a certain place. Yeah. You don't have to put a fountain. It could be an image. If you have an image, for example, of a harbor where the boats are stuck or landed, right? They're like in the harbor. Then what is actually a very popular image, I see that often, you're actually saying, well, I am relaxed. I'm in the harbor. Nothing is really happening. I'm not working. And so when you have that image, for example, in your workspace, you're actually not getting the flow coming in. But if you would have an image of boats sailing, you have a visual of, things are moving forward. Or if you have an image of a storm, on sea, well, then don't be surprised. You're giving yourself permission to be in a storm. So you like, whatever is outside of you is reflecting within you. So water can be a very thriving element by putting a fountain and the right images in the right place, because certain compass directions can have water, others cannot. And it's possible that water images are really not so good. One of them is, for example, and that's a no-no, that is to place water images in your bedroom. When you have water images in your bedroom, people have more miscommunication, they have more emotional reactions, and they have less connection with each other. So sometimes also romantic issues. So putting water images there will really affect you. So water, it needs to be where you are, working or living, but again, in the right directions. So then we have the element wood, and that's, for example, plants. And we already talked about plants need to be lush, needs to be blooming. It can be fake. We try to also avoid having plants, even alive plants or fake plants in the bedroom, because the bedroom, you should sleep and not feel like you're in nature. Yeah. So when you feel that you're in nature, you're more alert, you're more awake. So we try to avoid that. But having them again in the right directions, in your space, because not every direction, every compass direction can feel good with plants. So there's certain compass directions that do well with it, some not. Then we have the element fire. Yeah, so think about a fireplace, candles, heaters. So fire is a very important element, and light, the light textures, the light features are also part of fire. So having that around you, sometimes people don't have enough light around them. It's too dark, and just lighting a candle when you come into your home after being outside for a day or even weeks when you're traveling is really good, because fire is a life force. And so it always clears out the energy. So fire is an important element. Then metal, metal objects, but metal is also air. So making sure that the air is fresh, we can work with that. There's certain elements where, again, we put metal, and then we also have earth. So earth, for example, are crystals. And so where do you place the crystals? Yeah, for example, if you have a rose quartz is best in the southwest area of your house, or of your living room, because it enhances romance. So there's certain crystals, and we're going to talk about that, and also how to activate your crystals for Feng Shui. That is, I think, one of the things we also share about. So it's like the 5 elements that we want to have around us, and they need to be all present in your home, because then that's what creates harmony.
Well, it's really key that we're just scratching the surface here, Marie, because you're just a wealth of great information and there's so much more that we can do. So I want to spend some time now talking explicitly about your upcoming program, since it's really a unique opportunity to apply these principles in a way that really makes a difference in our lives. So the program Marie is going to be teaching is brand new. It's Design Your Enlightened and Abundant Home with Feng Shui. Learn the ancient art of harmonizing qi for health, happiness, and spiritual blessings. You can see it laid out in detail at the URL fengshuiyourhomecourse.com. That's FENGSHUI, yourhomecourse.com, fengshuiyourhomecourse.com. It's a 7-week program, and it's really going to give you these foundational understandings that you can apply in your home and in your life right away and experience the benefit in 9 days and for months and years to come. So you're really going to be in for a treat to have access to this level of mastery and this level of distillation of the key principles that you can apply in your life. So Maria, I'd love for you to share first on the high level, like about, how do people's lives shift as they apply this, and then we'll go through the modules and give a little preview what's coming in each.
I'm so excited to bring this 7-week course, because in the 7 weeks, you really will shift your energy. So I have seen people like within a few weeks, getting promotions, finding love, like new money flows coming into their life. It's just like, it's a very quick change, but also because you already have probably worked on your inner self already a lot, and you just haven't aligned your outer self, your environment, with what your goals and your energy is. And it's really, it feels like almost like miracles when suddenly something shifts, but it's because you already have done some preparation work, and now your home is aligning with what you want to do. And so I'm super excited because I have reached millions of people doing this work, and I'm always so happy that finally people are seeing the easy changes they can make. It's very easy. It's not something that you need to work very long about or deep about. It's just like third module, you work on it, you do some shift, and then the week after you get the next step. So it's very practical, because that's my attitude. I always want to make sure you're very practical and get things done week after week. So the first module is about how to prepare, Feng Shui to impact your life. And so also to set the tone for yourself, to know a little bit more deeper about what it really is, but also to prepare yourself to be in a different connection with the quantum field. So I will definitely guide you also with meditation, connecting in what you can do, and the first steps that you can do. That will be module number 1. The module number 2, we're going to immediately go into the practice of space clearing, because I have seen the more the space is open, the more the space is decluttered, the more the space is free of chaos, the better it will be to start implementing the Feng Shui tips. And I have very easy space clearing tips, both energetically and both very practical, so that you will be like, oh, it's so easy to let go of things. So we need to create space. That's the module number 2. Then module number 3 is we're going to focus on how to position yourself. So we're going to talk about the power position more in depth, to make sure that you are always in a power position in whatever place, if it's your bedroom, your office, any space you're going to be in, that you always see the incoming flow coming towards you. And that will definitely help you to just open up the energy. Sometimes just after module 3 already, people will feel such a shift already, because they're changing something already so beautiful. Like perhaps your wife, it's even just like changing things around. It's like suddenly there's a different perception. Yeah, because you don't look at the wall anymore. You look at the space that is around you. And it's just not that yourself are changing, people will react differently towards you because you're sitting in a different position. So we're going to go much deeper into that. And then, of course, that personalizing Feng Shui approach with knowing your best directions about success, health, relationship, and wisdom. and going to really deepen into that, finding that. We're going to be practically look at every space, how to find that, to already start looking at what is there at this moment. Because let's say you have in your success direction an image that is telling the wrong thing. Like I could give you an example. A man had an image there of a sailboat, but at the end of the river, there's a waterfall. So I said to him, like, what does that image mean to you? Is that you will attract big project, but at the end of the road, the projects never manifest. He said, oh my God, Marie, that's exactly what happens. So starting to look at what is there right now, that will be module 4, and start seeing what has happened in your life because of it. Yeah. And then, of course, in module 5, we're going to focus on how to change your success and abundance and attract career and financial blessings. Because when the chi, the energy changes, it's like blessings start coming to you, like ongoing, not just one time, but because that energy is aligned with the quantum field, it's an ongoing blessing that is happening. And so it's a flow of blessings that can come finally towards you. And then in module number 6, we're going to focus on the relationship direction, both personally, professionally, and family-wise, so that we can see that on all levels, there is blessings in your connections. That also means by releasing some of the old energy, that new people can come in, new clients, new friends, new connections, improving your relationship if you already have a romantic relationship, or bringing in new partners. And so I see always wonderful things happening on that level. And I have a lot of marriages because of that I have to go and visit. So you never know that this will happen this time too. So and then we're going to focus on your health and wisdom. So to make sure, let's say you need to improve your health, both mental, emotional, and physical health will be improved by redirecting your energy, and also your wisdom, how to make sure your connection with your spiritual practice, so your religious connection, is improving and is deepened, and have the best results to reach enlightenment. So that is the 7 modules.
Well, what a really fascinating and important course for all of us to really optimize our environment for our success, our health, our wealth, and our wisdom. So you are really offering such a valuable program here, Marie. And so again, it's laid out in detail at Feng Shui yourhomecourse.com, FENGSHUI, Feng Shui yourhomecourse.com. So you get not only the 7 90-minute live sessions with Marie that are going to be packed with valuable insights, you're also going to get time to ask your questions directly of her. You'll get recordings of every session, both video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts to work with, study, and highlight. There's weekly exercises and practices for home, as well as Facebook community to support you, and small group time to connect with other participants. And on the page, you're also going to see a number of extra bonuses that are designed to enhance your journey and give you complementary wisdom to apply. There's a PDF guide from Marie called the Personal Energy Number Report. And then there's an audio meditation called Tubes of Light Meditation for Home. You want to say a little bit about the Personal Energy Number Report, Marie?
Yeah. Yes, of course. So we want to make sure you understand, what your number really means to you and how you can activate it already. So to go deeper into the archetype, and to not just for yourself, but also if you have other family members that have another number, so you would have also that number for the other people. So you would go and find that out. So that will help you to see what's your number and the numbers of your family, or from your partner, or for your friends. So that's something you can then use to help them also.
Really great bonus just by itself. And I also want to draw attention to one special bonus that folks get when you sign up by midnight tonight Pacific time. This is our way to encourage you to really tune in now, and while you have the most information, and really, if you're getting a yes to move forward, then you've got an extra bonus for doing so. This is a PDF guide from Marie called the 24 Diamond Quantum Colors Manual. You want to share more about that 24 Diamond Quantum Colors Manual, Marie?
Yes, of course. So over the years, I have found there were 24 colors that we can use, and that every person, based on the energy number, there are colors that work better for you than others. And by using these colors in your space around you, you uplift the vibration. Each color is an energy, is a frequency. And so when we work with that color, not just in your environment, but also wearing it. Like I'm literally wearing right now my quantum colors. That is white and peach and a little bit of pink. So I always wear these colors because it's not just that, my environment gets affected by it, but I'm also affecting myself with it. It's like these are the quantum colors that give you faster and easier access to the quantum field. For other people, it could be greens, other could be reds, but based on your energy number, you will have different colors, and that will explain that.
Really great extra bonus, super practical information, and really fun as well to play with these colors. So
Even in your nails, even in your nails.
I love all the fun applications of this work, and it really just opens up a whole new perspective on our lives and our relationship with our environment and how connected we are to the whole fields that we're a part of. It's really it's like a specific application of oneness, that we have this way that we are connected to our environment and our homes. So we've kept the investment for this program very accessible. It's just 3 payments of $128, or you save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start November 7th and run Tuesdays at 9 Pacific, noon Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community as well. And on the page, I also encourage you to go through some of the testimonials. There's really amazing results from so many people. I love that within 9 weeks, I had 20% more profits in my company. That's from Vishen at Mind Valley. How amazing Marie is. There's a lot of great testimonials, what a positive effect she's had in people's lives. So you're in really great hands, and Maria's got the knowledge and the skill to help you apply this in a way that really makes a difference in your life. So again, you can find all the details at fengshuiyourhomecourse.com, FENGSHUI, yourhomecourse.com. And you're going to get that special bonus on the 24 Diamond Quantum Colors Manual when you sign up by midnight tonight. So Marie, we're at the end of our time. A really mind-blowing, fascinating hour. Really love this. And anything is still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering going deeper into the full program with you?
Yeah, I'm very happy that I can do that with the Shift Network, because I appreciate so much the wonderful work that Shift Network has brought people because of you, Stephen, and your team. And I think this is a missing link that a lot of people have not perhaps explored yet with. And that just exploring that missing link will actually bring them to a whole other level of manifestation and enlightenment. And it has done that for me, and it has done this for so many people worldwide. And now I can bring this to you because I know that just by looking at your home in a different way, you will also look at yourself in a different way. And so super excited to share that with you.
Well, thank you, Marie. Really empowering information and a lot of wisdom, and really a lot of fun too. So really great to have you, and thank you all for joining. And if you'd like to go further and really apply this ancient wisdom system in your home in a way that really makes a difference, you are warmly welcome to do so. And you can do so at fengshuiyourhomecourse.com, FENGSHUI, yourhomecourse.com. And when you sign up by midnight tonight, you get the 24 Diamond Quantum Colors Manual. So thank you so much. Many blessings.
Thank you.